In the Alan Greenspan book, The Age of Turbulence, which was written in 2007, there was an exposition of what the pay-as-you-go legislation was. Richard Darman, Office of Management and Budget, he's working for George Herbert Walker Bush. He goes to Bush and says, listen, we had tremendous deficit spending under Reagan. We're going to have a peace dividend. The walls come down. We're going to have this peace dividend, but we've got to create some guardrails on the Congress. And so I'm going to propose legislation. We got to get Democrats and Republicans to vote on it. Here's the legislation, pay as you go. If you want a tax cut, that's fine, but then you have to find something in the government to cut. If you want a increase in social services, that's fine, but then you have to raise taxes somewhere. Richard Gephardt worked on this with them. Some Democrats actually lost their seats. They passed this legislation, and then we went to war, accidentally, the Gulf War. We had a recession in the United States, and they wanted to increase social services. And so all of us remember Bush raised taxes pursuant to pay as you go. Read my lips, no new taxes, but he violated that and he raised taxes. When Clinton won the presidency, Bush said to him, listen, we put this pay as you go legislation in. If you adhere to it, you'll run a budget surplus by the end of the decade. And Clinton said, okay. Robert Wright, my old law school professor, wanted to run deficits. He was the Secretary of Labor. Robert Rubin, my old boss from Goldman, he said, no, go for the tax increase, stick to pay as you go. You'll send a big message to the bond markets and we'll get to a surplus in this country. So Clinton listened to Rubin. At the end of his term, we printed a $240 billion surplus. And just to remind everybody, the CBO, Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, estimated that there would be a $5 trillion budget surplus by the end of calendar year 2010. That did not happen. And the campaign, Bush versus Gore, Gore said, I want to push that money into the environment. Bush said, I want to give it back to the taxpayers. Bush won the race. He cut taxes in March, but then we went to war in October of 2001. It's the first time in U.S. history that we went to war without a tax increase. In fact, we had a tax cut before the war, and it started this deficit trajectory that we're on now. So if you want to curb that, you have to restore pay-go. You got to get somebody like Elon Musk behind it. Yes, he can shave a point here or a point there off of the growth of these governmental agencies. But if you actually put the guardrails in, over time, what will happen is you'll get to a surplus again. Now, could it take 15 years? Yes, it could, but you would stop the exponential bleeding that we're in right now. You can't cut $2 trillion from the budget. It would be too austere. It would cause an economic collapse. But you could put the country on a controlled diet.